snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff. But
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey,
We'll
Rashad.
start up top with some coach comments, and then we'll go to questions in the room.
Well, it was a great second half, great comeback, some outstanding efforts. Nas had a tremendous game, and then obviously Leash and Rye were outstanding, and it was nice to see that we expended that much energy getting back in the game. It was nice to see that we finished it off.
Questions in the room.
Thoughts about just clarify.
Leash, yeah, she's especially that second half, she was aggressive. She was attacking the rim. She was getting to the foul line. She knocked down threes, and she was playing outstanding defense. So like the level that she's been playing at to start the season has been remarkable.
Coach, to get you back in the game, you had a 15-6 run in the last 5.5 minutes. What was the message that you said to your team to kind of get back into this game?
I just told them if we, after a real slow start, then it was kind of even. I thought we had a run in us to get back in the game, and I just wanted us to keep competing. And if we got the run, we could see if we could maybe finish it off. And fortunately, we got it like right before the end of the third quarter, and we had a great fourth, and we get to go home with a W.
And thoughts on how you thought BG did after returning?
Well, we knew we weren't going to get too many minutes for BG because they had very limited practice, just got back to practice. But we know that BG is a big part of what we're going to be doing here. And once we get back, we got a couple more days off. She gets a few practices under her belt. I'm sure she'll get back to just what she was doing before her injury.
What did Nas do for you?
Well, I mean, the second shots, defensively, she was outstanding, forcing tough shots. Helping, she really improved our ball screen defense by, her technique, guarding ball screens. And then, her screening and exit velocity to the rim was creating some great opportunities for us. So, she's, last few games, she's just been outstanding, and she's given us a big lift off the bench each time.
We'll go to questions on Zoom. Go ahead, Glaze.
Coach, great win. Let me talk to you about the change in philosophy a little bit. I know it might be part of the game, but it looks like in the second half y'all attacked more to the rim. It looks like in the first half was a lot more shots from the outside. But was that a conscious effort to roll more towards the rim, to get towards the rim in the second half?
Well, I thought our pace wasn't great to start the game. Like we weren't moving, we were pretty stagnant. So we definitely talked about our pace and looking to attack off the ball screens. And I just thought like Rye in particular off the ball screen was just making good decision after good decision after good decision. I mean, she just came up huge for us. But, as we mentioned with Nas, and then, Bree had some big baskets and 3-point plays for us. So, it's not one of those things where, we had a couple players play amazing, but we had other players contribute in big ways too. And that's when you're trying to come back from 15, 17 points, that's what it's going to take, a team effort. And we got that today.
And my last question, Coach, in order to do that and come back from a 17-point, what changes did you make on the defensive side to slow down Seattle a little bit in the second half?
Well, I mean, we tried to change up our ball screen coverage. They were hurting us a lot. They're setting the ball screens way out of the scoring area, and they were getting us. So we were just trying to make sure that, we went under any ball screen that was way out of the scoring area so that we weren't giving them, easy downhill things and getting us in rotations. They were still very good offensively, I thought. But fortunately, we were able to come back because we were scoring pretty consistently.
Go ahead, Wilton.
Coach, what you elected to go to more of a small ball lineup in that third quarter. What made you do that at that point in time versus kind of, using it more earlier on in the game?
Well, we were down, and I wanted to push the tempo a little bit, and they were definitely hurting us in ball screens, and I thought if we went a little smaller, we might have a better opportunity to defend them a little bit better. So we went to it and it was working pretty well, so we just kind of stuck with it throughout the rest of the game.
And then one quick follow-up. When you look at, like, obviously this month of May is coming to an end, your first year on the job, first month on the job actually. What have you learned about this team, especially coming back from a win like this, coming back from 17 points?
Well, I think recently, like we've shown much better composure down the stretch of games, like pulling together, understanding what shots we're looking for at the end of games. I just thought we've been a lot better in those situations. And these games are so close. All these teams are so good. It could come down to one or two possessions at the end of the game, your execution, and if you're able to keep your composure. And I really like the last few games how we've been in these situations.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Coach, this is Kelly from W Switch. What about those 7-and-1s that turned the momentum for y'all, and what led y'all to take off and take over the game from there?
I think I missed part of it. Did you say?
The 7-and-1s, though, the 7-and-1s in the second half.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable to have. But
And
we were attacking the rim. We weren't avoiding the contact. And, Bree had a couple big ones. I know Leash had a couple big ones. Rye had one. So everybody was contributing to that. We were just, we definitely had an attack mentality, and, you're making them make a play. And fortunately we were able to, they were drawing a lot of fouls on us, and Rye was in foul trouble, but we were at least getting back to the free throw line the other way.
Go ahead, Malik.
Hey, Coach. You guys don't have another game until next Friday. With how well you all have been playing now, I guess, how do you want to keep that momentum going and not have it slow down with such a long break?
No, I mean, this was a lot of games in a very short period of time, and we really didn't have a lot of practice. So, I mean, and with the West Coast trip, we're going to need a couple days of recovery, and then, we'll really have things ready for them when we come back to practice to work on the things that we think can make the biggest impact to our improvement. And then we'll try to get it going again and see if we can't keep getting better.
And we'll finish up with Ernest. Ernest, go ahead.
Coach, Kelsey Plum after your game the other day said that the best teams in the WNBA have been together for a while. And she mentioned this Atlanta Dream team being together, but y'all did add some new pieces in the offseason. How has this road trip increased chemistry, and how did you see that play out tonight?
Well, I think there's definitely confidence that the players have in one another, and they get along really well on the court and off the court, and they're just kind of building a chemistry. I think the more you share the ball and the more you make good decisions, people's confidence grows and their belief in one another grows. So we're just trying to get better at that, play to everybody's greatness. And I do see us getting, we've gotten a little bit better each game. Hopefully we can continue with that.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
The 7-and-1s, the most ever.
It was. Somebody's keeping track of
That stats for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
we can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.